have a Visual Basic Windows form, just a very simple interface that has a single button. I'm going to double click on that button. And for the code, I've created my string as a string variable equals South Mountain Community College. Then I'm going to dim IDX as integer, and it's going to equal my string dot index of, and some methods. I need parentheses, but I want you to notice that on the IntelliSense here, it's showing me example 1 of 10, and it says in the parentheses I can put the value as a char, as a single character. So I can look for an individual character, but I can go through these different IntelliSense settings and see, okay, here's 2 of 10. This one is a string that goes in the parentheses, value as string. Value as character, and I can specify a starting index. So these are what we call the overloaded methods. It's the same method name, but the signature, which is what's inside the parentheses, is different. Lots of different options here. In this video, I'll show you the ones that I primarily use and some examples of them. So what I want to do here is I want to find the OU, which is the second one that's looking for a string. I'm not specifying a starting index. I'm looking for the OU, and we'll just do a message box dot show, and we'll say OU occurs at index IDX. And then for the title, index of result. Let's put that OU in single quotes. And I'm going to run this. And I'm told that the OU occurs at index 1. That's the second character, because remember we start counting with 0. So S is 0, 1, the O is 1, the U is 2, and so forth. So it found the OU at location 1. Now, we saw in that IntelliSense that I could modify. We saw in the IntelliSense that I can overload this. And one of the instances, one of the overloaded methods is I can specify a starting index. So I'm going to start looking at index 4. That'll bypass the OU. And let's try this. Now I'm getting a OU occurs at index 7. So we said the U was 2, the T is 3, the H is 4, the space is 5, because space is a character. The capital M is 6, and the O in mountain is index 7. So let's find the location of the OU in mountain by specifying the starting location of where we want to begin the search. Let's run this. And you can see now the OU that occurs after index 4 is index 7. That's the OU in mountain. Let's take a look at some more examples of index of using this phrase of South Mountain Community College and see what the results would be returned as far as the index value. I'm dimming ABC as string equals South Mountain Community College, and I show you the indices of each letter in that phrase. My first statement here is I'm finding the length, and I do that again just to reiterate that we start counting with 1 for length, so there's 32 characters, but the indices, as you can see there, go from 0 to 31. So you always want to make that distinction. LBL output.text equals abc.indexof, and I'm looking for, in this case, just a character of an uppercase C, and that's going to return 15. abc.indexof, and I'm looking for the lowercase of un, and it's going to return the first index of that find, and that's going to be character 8, or index 8. It's actually the 9th character, but index 8. LBL output.text equals abc.indexof. I'm looking for, again, for the uppercase C, but here I'm specifying where to start searching. I'm going to start searching at character or index 18. So with the M in community, let's find the next C, uppercase C after that, and here it is at 25. I do the same thing with a phrase where multiple letters, in this case UN, and I'm going to start searching after index 9 or at index 9, and the first UN that it finds would be at 19 in community. And then if it's search for something and can't find it, I'm going to search for OA here, an index of OA. There is no OA in our string. So if it can't find it, it will return a -1. That's going to be true as well if I simply search for, say, a lowercase c. It wouldn't find a lowercase c. They're all uppercase. That would return a -1. Along those lines, if I search for a lowercase mo, there is none. It's an uppercase mo, so it's going to return a -1. How can I do my search and make it case insensitive? I don't care if it's uppercase or lowercase. Well, we can take our string and convert it to either lower or upper. So here, abc.toLower takes South Mountain Community College and makes it all lowercase, and then my index of, I'm looking for a lowercase mo, and I'll get a 6. Same way I can do it as all uppercase. So abc.toUpper, and then looking for an index of uppercase mo would also return a 6. Now there's another overloaded method, and I basically never use this, but you will see this used in other people's code occasionally just to make you aware of it, is we can add another parameter of a string comparison. In this case, I'm using, and string comparison is what we call an enum. One of the values it has in the string comparison enum is .ordinal ignore case. So I can say index of mo string comparison .ordinal ignore case, and that's going to return a 6 as well. It doesn't care if it's uppercase or lowercase. It's ignoring the case sensitivity. I usually prefer to use toLower, toUpper. And then I also want to point out there is a last index of that works kind of the same way, but here we're looking from the back end. So LBL output.text equals ABC last index of, and I'm looking for a T, and that last location of the T, or the first location of the T from the right hand side, would be at index 22. We'll use the index of along with things like substring, which we'll look at next. If you just jumped into this video, you can see all the videos from the Programming Practicum playlist by clicking on the image in the lower right. And if you'd like to be alerted to future videos I create, you can click my picture in the top right to subscribe to the channel.